There has never been a better time than now for improving the processes that both you and your organization have in place for managing your most valuable asset. Now, by most valuable asset, I mean your people. I'm very excited to show you this. Workzoom has been built from the ground up and designed to be a end-to-end people management solution. The login screen has been branded to Workzoom in this example, but any organization working with us will have their own branded login screen. Now, this is employee self-service. So what we have in front of us, the whole goal of it is to really empower employees to own more of their own world. As we can see on the left here, there's a side menu. This is everything that can be encapsulated in employee self-service. It doesn't mean it has to be. Depending on an employee's job in the organization, there's going to be a certain tailored experience based on that. As we can see here, we are logged in as Noah, and Noah is a new hire that has just been brought on to the Workzoom organization. We can see here that Noah has visibility to a calendar with all sorts of events. He is currently logged in as a person. Now, administrators, people with administrator access within the platform, we'll be able to see everything from a high-level overview, from a HR, workforce management, payroll, and talent development perspective. Anyone who manages a team or people in a team will have a perspective to manager self-service, and then everyone being tracked in the system, being organized in the system with the company, are going to have their own employee self-service portal. So what we're seeing here, Noah has a variety of things that he has to do, as we can see here with the to-do tile, or is recommended to do anyways. We can see here that there is a welcome video. This is part of his onboarding process since he was just hired. He also has the opportunity to kick off the self-assessment portion of his annual review. This is demo data, so it's just an example of what the performance review process could look like for Noah. Now, along here across this middle bar is our can do bar. Now what this is a banner that is built to provide Noah perspective on all the activities that he can do. So everything from submitting a request for time off, reviewing of his recent pay stubs, updating his profile information, which will then be given to review by either his manager or the HR administrator. Things like entering long-term leave, updating emergency contacts, all of this can be done here. As I mentioned earlier, employee information is heavily tied to the benefits administration side of things as well. So there are activities here to empower Noah when certain life events happen. For example, maybe Noah is getting married in April. He has the opportunity to click in here and he's able to set the marriage date and future date that to April, because Workzoom is a date-based solution. So he could enter it now, even though he's not going to be married until April, or supposed to be married until April, hopefully. And even then, he can also add some details just regarding his partner. So then when that date rolls around, he's actually going to be able to update his benefit plan and sort of change the different benefit plans that he is able to apply for. Now, returning to the home screen here, on top of that, there are tiles for all the different areas that Noah has access to here. If he clicks into his profile, he's given perspective on some of his personal information. If anything's not correct, he's able to review it here. Maybe his address changed. He can just simply go below and set a specific moving date if he knows he's moving ahead of time, or just straight up update his personnel information. More than that, there's also some information relating to his work details. So if we were to drill down here, we'd learn more about his department, his work site, and even more details about his role. Another cool thing as well is his compensation is detailed out into like a total compensation report. So if we clicked into here, we can see everything contributing to how Noah is compensated as a person. We can see his hourly rate makes up about 93% of his compensation, but there's also visibility given to the vacation / paid time off that the organization offers Noah, as well as the benefit plans that he has available to them. And more than that, there's a detailed breakdown on sort of what the company is paying versus what he's paying for each of the benefits plans, how much vacation time he's given each year, and that's also broken down into an annual amount. Now, returning back to the home screen, Noah also has visibility to the time off that he can request. If I click into here, I have a full breakdown of the vacation/PTO that's available to me as Noah. You can see here, I've earned 10 days of time off. I've taken 1 day, so I have 9 days available. We can also see how much sick leave or time off in lieu is available. And then from here, the can-dos are also tailored throughout. So these are all relating to time off. So if Noah wanted to submit a time off request, he'd have all the leave types that are visible to him as a specific person. This is a demo environment, so there's like 8 or 9 different types, I think. Now, he has visibility to when he is supposed to work in his role as a customer care representative, when he is scheduled, so 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in this example. He can also see when his team is booking time off. So the leave requests in white here are the ones that have been requested by his team, and the ones in blue have been the ones that are approved. So here, I'm just going to select 3 days off from the 19th to the 21st, since no one on my team has requested those days off. Now, as simple as that, we can submit the request. Now, if Noah wants to make it a little bit more clear why he's requesting time off, maybe he's taking a trip to Mexico, we might as well capitalize that just so it comes through to the manager properly. We're able to submit that request accordingly as well. And you can see already his vacation time has been logged in the calendar. And when his manager, Violet, goes to approve this leave request, what's going to happen is these 3 customer care representative shifts are going to get marked as vacant. So then his manager, Violet, is then able to go into Workzoom and find someone qualified to fill those shifts, whether that's through SMS messaging, through Workzoom, or email messaging, or just straight up assigning someone or putting the shift up for bidding. There's many different ways that you can fill a shift, which is awesome. So there's tons of flexibility there. Noah also has visibility into his schedule, kind of as mentioned before. So you can see here all the different days that he is scheduled and the times that he's scheduled as well. You can break it down into a week-by-week view as well, if that's easier for him. He also has the opportunity to bid on specific available shifts. And he can see some of the groups that he's related to and breakdowns of the time worked on a week-by-week basis for this example. So you can see here how much regular time he has, how much leave time he has, as well as how much overtime has been tracked as well. Other than that, there's some information on pay and benefits. I'm going to skip to the company portal. Now, the cool thing about the portal is you, as an organization, have the opportunity to communicate a lot of different things to your employees, whether that's job openings. So maybe someone wants to make a lateral move and they want to change the position they're in within your organization. They can simply click into these job openings and decide if they want to apply for the role or not. On top of that, there can be company contacts shared with individuals as well. If they ever need to reach out to HR or payroll if something's not right, they're more than welcome to. A personal directory can be shared as well with the team. And you can even have like breakdowns of the different places that you have offices and your different locations and what the weather is like. Now, on top of that, the next thing I want to communicate is how Workzoom is set up on more of like an internal logic basis. Previously, in the past, it's very common for organizations to manage people on like a management hierarchy. And what this means is Rhonda manages Beth, and Beth manages Elizabeth, and Janice is managed by Rhonda. So the whole tree is built up by who manages who. Now with Workzoom, one thing that you kind of shift to is a more job and position based hierarchy. Now, what I mean by that is it is broken up by how the jobs relate to each other within the organization, as opposed to how the people relate to each other in the organization. And what this means is that if Samantha Jesko were to be promoted to the VP of customer service, what's going to essentially happen is you can future date that change because Workzoom is date effective. So you can make it for April 1st, for example. Now, when April 1st rolls around, what's going to happen with Samantha's work assignment is since she is shifting to the VP of customer service, she's going to inherit all of the attributes and values that the VP of customer service would receive. So maybe the customer care representative only gets 2 weeks of paid time off. Maybe the VP of customer service gets 3 weeks of paid time off. Maybe there's a higher salary rate. Now, if there's exceptions, those exceptions can be made as well. Maybe the VP of customer service also gets gold level benefits instead of the silver level benefits offered to the customer care representative. And then on top of that, even things like system access or manager access will be determined based on the role you are in the organization. Since Violet is in VP of Customer Service and the VP of Customer Service manages the customer care representatives, when we log in as Violet, you'll see that she actually manages this team of 38 between the customer care representatives and the support staff. So all of that is handled in a meaningful way. There's no need to write over old data because everything is data effective. There will be a new work assignment created. So there'll be a rich history of each specific work assignment that Samantha Yesko has worked. There'll be a rich history of the different compensation rates that she has been assigned and the years that she was assigned them from. So that when you go to report on your people data, you have a very rich history to look back on. Now that pretty much wraps up the position hierarchy. When we come back to the home screen, there is a welcome video as a part of the onboarding process. I'm going to save that for now, as well as there's the performance review process as well. But you can imagine automated workflows to bring someone onto your team, as I mentioned before, just collecting any information, completing of tax documents, providing of an employee handbook, maybe even probationary reviews, 30, 60, 90 days, having those scheduled out for after they complete their onboarding, maybe having them complete some benefits administration and signing up for different benefits plans after they complete their onboarding. All of this is possible to be automated with Workzoom, which is awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to log in as Violet so that we can get perspective of what it means to be a manager within Workzoom. So here we go. We're going to log in as Violet now. Now, the cool thing about Violet, as I mentioned before, is since she is a recruiter, she's going to have access to the administrator portal when it comes to recruiting. But other than that, she's not going to see any payroll-based information. She's not going to see anyone's compensation. She's not going to see the organization's overall like master schedules, for example. She's only going to see the activities related to her role as a recruiter and the administration needed for that. Now, since it's a role-based solution, we can switch to her manager self-service. So you can see some employee engagement things here. This is a safety drill announcement. I'm just going to kindly click out of that as well as the town hall. So now that we're a manager, we can see that Violet does indeed manage a team of 38. She also has a bunch of to-do items. Since this is demo data, it's not like Violet is logging in every single day to complete her items. She's very lazy. She doesn't log in at all. But other than that, there are some items that Violet needs to complete. So if I look at some of the to-do items here, she's been invited to review her daily exceptions. Now, as I chatted about before, timekeeping is a massive part of operations. And what the review daily exceptions is built to do is provide clarity to the things that did not go to plan. So it's going to create perspective for Violet on some of the extra time worked in the specific day. It's going to show you, hey, Brian came in 30 minutes early. Now Violet is able to review the day in her mind and from her memory that day. She's not trying to remember 3 weeks back. And she's able to report on what she saw on the specific day. Maybe Brian showed up 30 minutes early, but he was just sipping coffee with some of his coworkers and he wasn't actually working. You can actually deny that extra time and you can write some notes on why that time was denied in specific. So then when you go to process payroll, your payroll team has a very clear understanding of why people are being paid extra or why there are specific short-term leaves during the day. Here you can see there was some time that was missed being work. We can see that Elsa clocked out 15 minutes early, and now we have the opportunity to mark it as leave without pay, mark it as personal leave, sick leave, so on and so forth, and we can also write notes on that as well. And then here we also have leave requests as well, and we can choose if they're denied or they'll just be auto-approved if they're not touched in any way. Now at the bottom here, the power of software automation, Workzoom is able to calculate all the hours relating to missing punches, the regular hours, any sort of meal deductions. You can see these meals were worked. If they weren't worked, you can also update the data as well. It's really up to you. On top of that, we can see what's been paid for out late, leave without pay, out early, paid, unpaid. Now, if you were to think about what this would mean 10 or 15 years ago, people would be manually calculating all of this based on either if there were even spreadsheets back then or even just like paper timesheets tracking the time worked. So this is a much better way of handling things to say the least. So that kind of handles the daily exceptions. It's just a daily activity that managers need to complete. As you can see here, the can-do bar is kept throughout the solution just to empower your team to do the activities that are needed. Violet also has perspective to the arrivals and departures for her team. We can see here 3 people clocked in on time, or clocked out on time, sorry. So we can see here, Andrew Jones, he was meant to clock out at 4 p.m. And we can see here, well, he did clock out at 4 p.m. and he was meant to work from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So he's good to go. But you have perspective on that as well. And this is something that is updated in real time during the workday. You can see here as well, as a manager, Violet has perspective to the scheduling, the operations, the timekeeping, and the time off all going on. As I mentioned before, when leaves are booked, there are going to be vacancies made in the schedule. So if I click here, I can see some of the vacancies that have been created. And if I double click into them, I actually have the opportunity to review a qualified list of individuals handpicked by the system who are qualified to fill. Essentially, when you work with our implementation team, they're going to collaborate with you to understand how you value qualified people to fill a shift. And then from there, once those rules and those boosts are created, that's going to affect how your qualified list is generated. We can see here, Sharon Hamilton, we even have perspective to her weekly hours, things like leaves or like time taken off, certifications relating to the specific role, hours that are scheduled weekly, employees' preferences that they have set for work sites, working hours, positions even, so on and so forth. All of that will be communicated here. It's just, unfortunately, demo data, not very good. Now, we also have the opportunity to assign people to fill the shift, or we can send out a shift offer. So that could be a SMS message sent by Workzoom, an email, maybe a to-do item sent to their dashboard to ask them if they want to take the shift. And then more than that, employees will also have visibility to the vacant shifts if they want to bid on them as well to get some extra hours. So that pretty much covers the scheduling side of things. Now, if I return to the home page, we have some leave requests to review here. I'm just going to filter down to the one that we submitted back when we were logged in as Noah. So now that we are in a leave request, you can see here Noah's requesting some time off. We were Noah earlier, but we have perspective to the start and the end date that Noah has requested off, totals for the estimated time, as well as we also have perspective into how that affects the leave balance and what the organization's rules are. We can see the reason that he took the time off, and then we also have a calendar perspective showing the shifts that he's scheduled for, when the requested vacation lands on the calendar, people who have requested time off versus people who have been approved for time off. Lastly, we have perspective to leave balances just as before, just so that Violet as a manager can make a qualified decision. And then we have perspective to Noah's leave history as well. If everything checks out, we can approve it. If it doesn't check out, we can write a message and deny it and then have him resubmit his request. Simple as that. And boom, that leave request has been approved. And I didn't check what dates it was for. But in real time, that specific leave request and the vacancies relating to that leave request will flow through to the schedule. So if you rewind in the video, you will see that there was only 2 vacancies here, and now there are 5 here. And you can see from the 20th to the 22nd, I believe, is when we requested off. Those are now marked as vacant. So Violet can now go in the schedule and fill the shift with a qualified person to take it. That pretty much wraps up manager self-service from like a super high level overview. There's a lot more that I can show, but now we're going to dive into the administrator side of things. So we're going to be logging in as Martha. She is our super user in the solution. Now you can see here under the hood, Martha has visibility to everything. She has full level administrative permissions. She has a manager self-service for the HR team that she manages, and she also has a person self-service portal as well, or an employee self-service portal. Communications are done here. Now, she has full perspective on managing everything from her administrator level. Now, things like even processing payroll can be handled here as well. And you can make it so that payroll professionals on your team have access to maybe just the payroll and the workforce portion. It's really up to you and how you want to tailor things with that. So you can see here, we have everything: HR, workforce, payroll, and talent management. If any of this is of interest to you or your organization, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to dive into this deeper in a video, but I don't want to spend an hour of your time trying to explain things when we can have a more tailored discussion, so I could better understand how your organization currently operates. And then from there, we could lead a guided business discussion, deciding how Workzoom could value you in specific as an organization, because everyone's different. But you can see here, all the different sub-levels that were mentioned before are all visible here. Now you may be wondering, what does a comprehensive system like this cost? Now, every piece of information relating to our pricing is on our website. There is no email wall. There is no forced sales call for you to see this information. You can simply go to workzoom.com and you will be able to see our pricing. And more than that, I'm going to show you it right now because we have nothing to hide. So pricing is handled on a per employee per month basis, and this is based on the specific suites that you are using. Now, just like a Netflix subscription, we do not believe in long-term contracts. If you are subscribed to Netflix and the shows and movies are no longer good that Netflix has to offer, and you want to move to Hulu or Amazon Prime or some other streaming service, it's the same with Workzoom. Our subscriptions are billed month by month. We're not going to lock you into a 3-year long-term contract. And more than that, we're not going to charge you anything when it comes to implementing and getting you set up. So when you are getting set up with Workzoom, what's going to happen is you are going to get paired with a implementation specialist from our team free of charge. And what they're going to do is they're going to use their expertise of Workzoom, and you're going to use your expertise of your business to build out automated workflows to automate your people management. Now, the cool thing about Workzoom as well is, since pricing is handled on a suite by suite basis, if you just wanted to kick things off with HR and just get the baseline of things automated, you're more than welcome to do that. If you have a separate payroll system that you are very happy with, it's not like you have to sign on to the full solution all at once. Though what I've seen with a lot of organizations is they will start to automate maybe their HR and their talent management, and then eventually bring in the workforce and payroll as well onto one system to reap the benefits of having everything super well integrated and communicating cohesively in a single solution, in a single platform. So based on this pricing, Workzoom comes out to $16 per employee per month for the full system. Now, the other pretty cool thing as well is, though there aren't any long-term contracts, if you wanted to pay annually in advance, there's a 5% discount for that as well. So what I see pretty commonly is organizations will sign on with Workzoom, they'll spend a couple months getting set up on it, and once they're happy with where things are at, they will pay annually in advance to reap the rewards of that 5% discount. Now, if you'd like to learn more about Workzoom, feel free to visit our website. The website is workzoom.com. And if you'd like to learn more about how Workzoom can support your organization in specific and your specific business objectives and goals, in the description of this video, I'm going to provide a page where you can schedule a meeting with myself or a member of my team. Whoever you end up getting on a call with, you're going to be in great hands. I'm not sure how many people are going to schedule meetings with me based on this video, but who knows? I might be crazy busy from now on because I made a brilliant piece of content. But if you'd like to see some of the client success stories, we have that covered on our page as well. So feel free to dive into that. And then on top of that, we also have each of our different suites and modules broken out on more of a detailed level basis if you wanted to dive into the nitty-gritty. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I look forward to talking with you sometime in the near future.